Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap with your host, Chris and Deepom here. And we're here to talk Legends of Tomorrow, Season 3, Episode 4, Phone Home. The Legends go back to 1988 to save Ray when they realize he'll die because of their breaking time. So, you know what? Honestly, here's the thing. I think they need to do more. I think this kind of goes to something we said last week. They need to do an episode where they didn't have the Time Bureau breathing down their neck.
Yeah.
And that was this episode. Like, this episode to me felt more like season 2. And I want to make clear that I am not saying that I don't like this way the season's going. I think the season's still been really good. Still one of the better shows. One of the best shows on out of the Arrowverse shows. But them leaning so hard on the Time Bureau in those first 3 episodes and going into the idea of, oh, the Legends are just terrible. They're fuck-ups and stuff like that. Yeah, I get it, but we went through a whole season of it was just the Legends, and they did pretty fairly good for themselves. In this episode, you kind of get the same thing. Yeah, they're there to fix an anachronism that happened because of their breaking time, which, again, they had to do.
This is an anachronism.
Well, no, they said it was. They said
it was.
I'm just going off of what they said. Like, I don't really fully believe that, but here's the thing. I don't fully believe that all the anachronisms are there because of their breaking of time.
Well, this one doesn't make it. It's not like they returned the Dominator to the time period.
Well,
it just left Earth.
Well, here's the thing. When Sarah went down remember when Sarah went down, she thought it was the Time Bureau because they had registered some kind of time thing happened. That's why they thought. That's why she went down to the Earth. She didn't think it was a Dominator. She didn't think it was the Mother. She thought it was the Time Bureau. She thought it was like one of their ships.
She thought that because there was a second time ship. You're right.
Yeah, there's a time ship. So I'm not sure. It might have been that this Dominator did come from a different time period. Because again, if you got to think about it, it was the 1980s. So maybe this Dominator came from when they had invaded, one of the. I don't know.
Or maybe this Dominator was always happened, but something pushed this Dominator towards
right.
Ray.
Exactly.
Like
so
maybe our time traveling assassin.
I think it's exactly. So I think that's going to be an interesting thing going on this season. I think we're going to find out that they're blaming the Legends for all this stuff, but I think some of them are a smokescreen.
Right.
I think, yeah. And so, but anyway, like, again, so this episode comes in, and it's the Legends basically doing what they did last season. It's like, something's not right in the time stream. Like, one of their members literally just died. I love how they handle that, too. He disappears during a team-building exercise with fucking Mick, and they realize he's dead, and so they have to go back to the time, and he just appears again. It's like, what the fuck happened?
Back to the day before he died.
The day before he died. And they go and they fix the problem. And honestly, I mean, yeah, there are clearly still Legends moments, like when they're trying to go back to the ship and the ship is gone, or
they left a fucking note.
Yeah, they left a note. Like, they're definitely
assholes. It's a time machine.
Right.
Return to the exact moment you left.
Right. so
you dickhead.
So I mean, there are definitely Legend moments, but overall, this is they were fairly competent in what they were doing. Like, they know, like and I guess this is what I've been kind of missing from the early episodes. And not saying I don't like them, but like, the team, for all the talk we say about them fucking up, they're a pretty competent team. And they can get things done. And for the most part, they did. There were things here and there that messed up, but they were kind of out of their control. It's like, they weren't, they didn't know it was a Dominator. The Mother shows up. There were all these other factors that kind of came in on this. It kind of
spins off its axis, and it's not really, it's just kind of happening around them.
Right. And that's what I was trying to say about, like, last season. A lot of times that happened last season to them. And it's like, yo, they're doing fairly well, but then, something out of their control happens, and you know what they do? They adjust, like they always do, and they work. So I don't know. I just really love the episode. I just loved everything about it. I'm going back to this time. It got to, first of all, shout out my man Jax, who is right. He's fly in no matter what time period they go. My man was fresh, yo. Like, he was super fresh with the kicks, the jacket. Like, I think Jax his favorite thing is he gets to dress up. He gets to be the fly black guy on the show. Like, and can't hate on him for that. Like,
we'll talk about Jax later. I'll get to Jax later. I got my issues with Jax.
Oh man, you hating on Jax?
He says something very stupid in this episode.
I mean, well, no, he says a lot of stupid things at the very end of it.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
So at first I was a little annoyed by the level of homage like in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, when they cranked it even higher, I liked it again.
Yeah, so it's that fine balance.
Like Amaya yelling, "Get away from me, you bitch!" Like alien. Like okay, all right, motherfucker, you got me.
Because you have to go all. You have to either. You can't half measure it. You got to go all in.
When they had him flying across the moon, I was like, all right. So it was corny 5 minutes ago, but now like.
So here's my thing. Here's my thing though. How many? Because we're old. How many kids didn't get the ET reference though?
See, and that's what the really fucked up part is that you think kids are the target audience.
Yeah, and that's when I realized. Oh my god, this show isn't for kids.
It's not for kids at all.
Right. That's when it hit me. I was like, oh son of a bitch. Like. Because I'm like,
I've been programmed. Oh shit!
Right? Because I'm like, because there's no way any of this stuff was meant for like kids. None of the stuff in here was meant for kids. It's just like there's no way they got any of these references or any of these things. Like again, like down to the ET thing. I'm like, wait a minute, like that was a long time ago. Kids don't remember ET. They probably saw that.
The craziest part. So Steven Spielberg has always been front edge of technology and film. They recreated that ET shot with TV shit this time, and it looks just as good.
Yeah.
Like we've come a long fucking way, and like they just did ET, and part of me was like, I just saw Stranger Things. Don't do this. But this year's Stranger Things, no spoilers. It leans less on nostalgia factor, more just kind of that's the setting. Mm-hmm. This one was straight up. We're gonna do ET. We're also gonna do Alien, maybe a little Shaun of the Dead, and Singing in the Rain.
Yeah. It's just they nailed the nostalgia stuff, and also it's a great Halloween episode because it does come out. Did come out on Halloween, so they got a perfectly timed episode for that. It's everything. I mean, even down to everybody knows I have my problem with Nate. Even Nate is a little bit downplayed this episode. He still does dumb Nate things, and I feel better because I really feel we're like 1 or 2 episodes away from Amaya finally putting him in his fucking place. Because she just keeps giving him these looks like, oh, why did I ever even bother with you? You are such a fucking moron, and I'm waiting. I'm living for the day that she finally just has enough and just goes, "You're like." I kind of almost wanted her to let him sit there on the couch with the Dominator just a little bit longer, just to let it sink in a little bit more for him how much of a stupid idiot he is. But yeah, I can't.
Is it more fun to like find a character to hate? Does that make the show more entertaining?
I don't have to find a character to hate. It's easy to hate. He makes it so easy. He makes it so easy. Like, I mean, come on. Look,
you didn't choose him. He chose you.
Dude, come on. You're cool. You're cool with your boy, and you end up you're on a timeshare. You go back. You find out his mom is hot.
I'm not going to relitigate this.
Wait.
I'm not debating it with you.
Wait, no. I'm just saying. You find out your boy's mom is hot, and you start hitting on his mom, dude. That is a homeboy violation.
That's hilarious because you know what? Every kid in high school who had the hot mom knew he had the hot mom. You know how he knew he had the hot mom? All his friends told him.
Yes, but if your kids actually started hitting on your mom, homeboy violation, you gotta get an aspirin for that.
But what do you... Okay. All right.
He tried to make out with his mom.
He didn't try to. He tried not to.
He was not really. I'm victim blaming on this one. He kind of was.
You are again like he was the one shoved on the couch. Like I saw what I saw, and he's like, "You're awfully powerful."
He didn't say no.
Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag blame Chris. Holy shit. If you want to steal that clip and just go completely out of context.
Right, it's there for you guys, You
want to just steal that one clip. There's a pull for you. Wow.
Just saying the Nate agenda is strong here. The Nate agenda is strong here. Yeah, I'm not
So
gonna lie.
strong.
Oh, you know what I also love? I love the fact that up until the episode, when you're watching the episode, they didn't show you what the baby Dominator looked like. Because I'm not gonna lie, it was adorable. It was fucking adorable. I can't lie. Like even my cold hearted self was like, oh, it's kind of cute. Kind of want to. They kind of got to sell Baby Dominator Funko Pops now. Because the thing was kind of cute. It kind of was kind of cute.
You gonna market the hell out of this?
You got it. Yeah, I mean, you got to, right? I mean, like the adult Dominators look like terrifying, and like they create webs, and they're disgusting creatures. But the Baby Dominator, it actually looked kind of almost human-like, and it was kind of interesting. It was kind of cute. It sat down. It was watching it was playing with the toys. It was doing things that you would expect from a normal little baby thing, and it was kind of cute. And then its mother shows up, and you're like, oh wow, you guys grew up to be disgusting looking. Oh, so. Maybe we should go back and kill it. Like that's when you go and kill it. That's you have to kill it. Like I'm sorry.
No one killing it is the biggest mistake in this episode.
Oh no. It's like, well, you know what? I wanted to. What if? Because again, remember it's a time episode. What if this is the Dominator, the one Dominator that they kind of deal with in the future? In the crossover episode from like they got to find a way to tie it all together. I feel like we're gonna get that tie all together, or maybe you know what it is. Oh, I got it. Because we're Rick and Morty fans. End of the season, a Dominator comes in and saves the day, like Jaguar does at the end of the Pickle Rick episode, and it's this baby Dominator. They got to do it. They got to full circle us with this baby Dominator. Yeah, they got to bring it back. I'm sorry.
I would really appreciate that.
Oh, that would be fucking awesome. That would be amazing. And the way that they know it's that same Dominator, it's like playing the music.
Yep.
Oh man, I gave you guys the ending of the season, guys. There you go.
It's got to end with this Dominator showing up and saying what's happening, and then they just start singing.
Yes, that is the only musical episode I will allow for.
Yo, Mick likes musicals.
See, there you go.
I'm telling you, Mick's a well-rounded character. We got to spend more time with Mick. He's the star of this show.
Yeah, I know. He's really...
I really enjoyed them putting her in the ISIS costume.
Yo,
you can't call her ISIS, and I get it, but really funny.
Yo, I was actually, again, I was legit surprised by that. I was like, yo, they put her in the costume, and she's not gonna wear the costume ever again, but they put her in the costume. Not bad. Because hell, Sarah barely gets in the White Canary costume. Like once I saw Sarah in the White Canary costume, I was like, so are they gonna put Zari in the? Oh, I
thought that her would be her and just her normal clothes. Like I wasn't. Sorry, I know.
Yeah, I'm not doing this. But you know, one thing I did like about this episode is the overall theme they have about basically it being family and focusing on that. So you have Stein here is basically we kind of know that we already know that Stein is not going to be on this ship for long because we know Garber is going off to Broadway. But like, and I forgot this from last week. Somebody had mentioned the fact that I was talking about what they could do possibly with Jax and how they can have Firestorm and Jax without having Victor there, and we gave some possibilities. I mentioned the daughter, and I completely forgot she was pregnant, which also reminds me that man, she was already actually pretty far along when we first met her, but I completely forgot she was pregnant. So it makes sense that Stein would be trying to stay in communication with his daughter because again, he didn't want to go back. He had finally got his life back together. He was dealing with his daughter. He had a grand. Was it a girl? He has.
It was a grandson.
No, it was a grandson because they called her. They named him Ronnie, which is also a nice little thing. So it's like you could see that Stein is just it's not the Stein of season 1 where he literally kidnapped a young black boy to go on the space adventure. I'll never let that go. I'm never letting that go. He fucking he literally kidnapped Jax. All right,
human trafficking.
Right. I'm sorry. He didn't just he drugged and kidnapped Jax. All right. So just gotta tell the whole story. But he's come a long way that now he's like he's got connections to his own time again. It's time for him to go back, and so it would make. I think that the way they're going to do this is going to feel natural as to why Stein isn't around, and I think it's good to see Jax recognize that and want to do something. Now I'm not sure what he wants to do to work this is going to work, but it makes sense that Jax is going to go down that route, and so I appreciate
No, it
that.
doesn't.
Why?
Because our combined form makes fire. Our assassin's water based. We're hanging out till we kill this bitch, and then we'll deal with that.
Well,
it's a time machine. We'll take you back to the moment the kid was born. You avoid your past self, and you slip right in once he goes back to the future. What's the problem?
Oh, well, so that is okay. You were bringing up something that I didn't want to get accused of being the nitpicky person, but you were actually bringing up the one problem I did have, and you mentioned it when you mentioned about the time ship leaving the note. It's like
note on the tree.
It's like I and that's what I didn't understand. It's like the whole point when we first started the Legends and when Rip brought them out was like, listen, we'll put you right back into the moment you left, and pretty much nobody will know you're gone because, like you said, it's a time ship. You know, you're going through time. Even when they're traveling in between missions, they're in between time. Time doesn't really travel. Like they can be in between time for a year. That's not the year that in 2017 or 2018 or whenever. Nothing's changed for the people that they left. So my entire thinking is like, how is she having birth to a child and you don't like? Why do you need to communicate? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why don't you like Deepam said? Why don't you just go back to that exact moment and you can then live and you can be there for the entire thing. You can be there through her entire pregnancy. You can be there through the birth. Like, I don't know. I think that I honestly think that they're only doing this because Victor's leaving. Like, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Like, because it doesn't make sense because it kind of goes against what we've said, right? Remember they pulled last season. They fucking pulled out. They pulled out Cold. They pulled out Damien Dark. What's his name? Malcolm Merlin. They pulled all of them from the time stream at certain parts in their lives, and they put them right back where they left them at. When they were done with it. So again, like you said, it's like, well, do your mission and then put Stein right back at that time, and it's fine. You lose nothing. You don't. You're not. Your time handles differently when you're basically a time master, and which honestly the Legends are. They're fucking time masters. So it's like it doesn't make any sense to sit there and go, oh well, no, you're missing so much of your child's life. Like, no, you're not. Like, you can go back to this moment at any point. It doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. Maybe they'll address that. But it is, I think, and to me, I still think it's a nitpick. It's not like a huge thing for me. Because we get it. It's the actor's leaving.
Yeah. It's like, you have to write around certain things. We get it.
Yeah. But it is one of the things you look at and you're just like, God, you have a time ship. Like, we've done this before. You've done this many times before. You literally put Captain Colback when they remember when they left Mick, and Mick became Kronos. They did the same thing with Mick. They put him right back in the time where they picked him up at. It's like, come on, guys, we've literally done this before. Yeah. So I thought that was great. I love when at the beginning of the episode when Ray wants to do this team building episode, Zari kind of reads everybody, but you notice she doesn't say anything about Sarah.
Everybody's scared of Sarah.
Yeah. She was smart enough to know not to call out Sarah on anything. Like she even called out Gideon.
She called out the ship. She's like, and Sarah's in charge. Mm-hmm. Next question.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody else got called out. But
I'll tell you my favorite part about this episode.
What?
What's his name? Bryan Singer couldn't do it. I don't know if Warner Brothers did it. But this is the first time I understood why you would cast Brandon Routh as Superman.
Yeah.
The unerring positivity, like he plays it up a lot sometimes, but I think having him interact with his past self and confront some past truths made him temper it some.
Yeah.
To where it was in that place where it was like super earnest and believable. And like the things you see out of Chris Evans, where he can pull off being Captain America, there are flashes of like, okay, that was Superman. I get it.
Well, so first of all, Superman Returns is not a good movie. All right, just gotta throw that out there right now.
No, it's a bad movie.
Yeah, bad movie. But I always thought that Brandon was good. He could have been a good Superman if they had written him better. Like the problem was never him. He was never the problem. To me, because like he could do it. Like you've seen him in, like you said, flashes with Ray Palmer, and like especially this episode, this him looking at everything so positively was almost to the point of being sickening. Like him pairing him with Zari, which is so great because she was just like, those are bullies. Those are not your friends. Oh no, they're my friends. They love me. We just hang out. I was like, no, those are bullies. Ray, what are you talking about? Are you always like this? You see the good in everything. And then when he had to have that conversation with himself, his younger self, and things like that, like it's just like you said, you get it now. You see why they do. Like I don't know if that's what they saw when they were trying to cast him as Superman, because I don't believe that they were smart enough for that, and I don't believe in Bryan Singer like that. But it does make me think, man, you could have done something great if you had just written a better fucking movie. Because he can be that. You could have, like you said, you could have had somebody like Chris Evans, and they squandered it. But no, you're right. I absolutely loved again because Ray it's one of the things that, and I think that they've done a good job of this with Ray. And this is why I always say that, hey, I'm gonna tamper down my Nate hate. It's one of the things I'm waiting on them to do with Nate a little bit. It's not to change the character per se, but have those moments of where you kind of, where even the character himself realizes that, hey, sometimes I do need to kind of, have that moment of truth. And Ray's had that a couple times a season. Like every now and then you get it. Like last season, it was him when he lost his suit, and he was trying to be the new Captain Cold. He was trying to work with Mick and be Mick's partner. Like Ray's had, and I think the reason why they give Brandon that stuff to do is because I think he's not a bad actor, and he's a good actor who sometimes just doesn't give the opportunities to do that stuff. Like one of my favorite roles, he's not in it a lot. I loved him in fucking what was it? Scott Pilgrim, when he was a fucking vegan Superman. Oh, that shit was fucking great. Vegan powers, like it was fucking great. So he is a legit actor with legit things, and like I said, it's always great to see him having those moments of truth. Like I said, when he kind of breaks down this episode, it not really breaks down, but he kind of realizes like, hey, listen, the Dominator is wrong. The Dominator is evil. Like that's another little theme they had in this episode where you had, and kind of the theme of both this episode and The Flash, where you have people's having misconceptions about and they're rightly formed, but they've misjudged. Like you had Mick and Jax thinking that Stein is ratting them out to the Time Bureau, which logical conclusion because he is sneaking around.
I thought it was a bit of a stretch, just if anything, because of the psychic link.
Well, again, yeah, you're right on that part, but I will say, well, here's the thing. Jax knew the psychic link doesn't let them know exactly what they're thinking, but it does let them know what you're feeling. And here's the thing. They've done a good job in that Stein has constantly, kind of been the one person that stood up to Sarah on some, well, maybe we should work with the Time Bureau. Maybe we should turn this over to them. So it actually kind of made sense of how Jackson and Mick could leap to that conclusion. You had Ray, and then when they realized it's a baby Dominator, going, oh, look, we got to destroy it because that baby will kill us all because it's a Dominator and they're evil. And it turns out that, at the end of the day, it was just, a little baby who wanted and the mother wanted the baby, and that was it. And they got together and they left. So it was like Ray was wrong with that one because remember at the end when the baby has his powers again and freezes the agent, and you're like, oh, yep, here we go. And Ray's kind of like, yo, listen, we got to turn it back on. And I'm kind of like, oh, Ray's got a point here. And then the baby makes the agents dance, and you're like, okay, well, maybe Ray was wrong here. Like you have these preconceived notions about these people, and it turns out to be wrong. And same thing happened on The Flash with Barry and Dibdee. So yeah, I mean, I thought that was and I think that was a rare moment where the overall themes for both shows kind of tied together and kind of worked on both shows, and both of them were really, really good off of that. And I really enjoyed them. Also, shout out to them for having the same guy play. What was it? They just have him called Glasses, I think, in the show notes. The guy who played it's Jacob Richter, who also was in the crossover episode last season. So yeah, they just have younger Glasses and Glasses. Like that's how they have him listed in the show notes for the series. Oh man. What else in this episode? We got some.
I love the writers having fun. First up is Two Truths and a Lie. It's going to be fun. Lie. I haven't started yet. Look, you probably think it's going to be lame. Truth. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah. I love the fact that Gideon is hacking herself. And no, because we mentioned this before that Gideon has a little spice to her lately. So it's like, yo, what is Gideon doing? Is nobody gonna talk about what the ship's doing, guys? Like, super powerful.
I for one am concerned.
I think we all are, or at least we all should be. Don't give AI too much work to do. I'm just saying we should. Yeah, we should probably look into that. And then Gideon got super defensive. It's like, well, no, I'm always running subroutines. I'm like, no, don't like the way this sounds. Don't like the way this sounds. So we gotta look into that. What's going on here? Yeah, man, I don't know. This was 2 hours of TV from The Flash and Legend of Tomorrow that just felt fun. Again, this episode you didn't have the Time Bureau. We didn't have we didn't have any water based time assassins. Didn't have any of that. It was just literally trying to save Ray. And again, this is why I also think that this will tie into the larger villain and what's happening, season, yeah. Right? Because it did kind of feel weird. Like I don't. Here's the thing: I don't mind episodes like this that don't quote unquote move the story forward, particularly at the beginning of the season. So it doesn't bother me, but it did feel kind of weird. It's like, you're right. How did the Dominator all of a sudden get out of time and is here, and why is that a problem? Like how did that happen? It just and then again, why was Ray targeted? So it just felt too planned, and it'll be interesting seeing how this ties back. I feel like it will tie back. I feel like this is when it comes to the CW shows, stuff like that, actually for any of these shows, because even it happens all the time with Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., anytime something feels out of the norm, it's on purpose, right? And so I feel like this felt out of the norm for this season, and not in a bad way, but in a way of, now I'm suspicious. Like, now I'm asking, like, how did this happen? Like, why are we here? Why did the Time Bureau not show up? Because now I'm like, oh, you've had the Time Bureau show up every other fucking time.
So much.
Ray Palmer is killed in 1988, and the Time Bureau does not show up at all? What the fuck happened? How?
Great point.
How? So it's just like, and again, it's things like that I like. I like the fact that, hey, that's out of the norm. That, like, we've gone 3 episodes in a row where we actually, at the time of the Time Bureau, is just annoying as shit. And yeah, we know last episode, Sarah did kind of tell them, hey, listen, basically back off, leave us alone. We're gonna keep doing this. Yeah, but that's I can tell the IRS to back off and leave me alone. They're still coming for their fucking money, right? So that doesn't. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way, right? So you can't do it. And then they also took Zari out of the time. They took her out of her place of time. So they now have two people that are on the ship that are not technically supposed to be there, in Zari and Amaya.
Well, technically none of them are supposed to be there.
Oh, valid. That's a valid point. So yeah, like the absence of the Time Bureau, while much appreciated, now also seems super suspicious now. So, and it goes back to my agenda that I think the Time Bureau has a mole in it, and there's something going on, and I do not trust Ava. So there's that. I was gonna say something else. There was something else that got me about this episode. Oh man, what was it? Hold on, let me look through my notes real quick. Oh man,
I could have used more Seraphites. I feel like we were under the quota this episode.
No, we did. We did not. That's one thing that we did not get. We did not get a big Seraphite. And I always wanted more. I always want more Seraphite. But again, the episode was so good, I actually didn't miss it. Like I know we didn't get one, and I want one. And I was kind of hoping for, because we were supposed to get, because you know what was going to happen. I thought we were going to get at least a little bit of the Sarah versus the Dominator mother, because she was like, "I'll hold it off until you guys get here." So I was hoping for a little bit of that, but by the time she was about ready to fight the Dominator, they had shown up with the baby, and so it was over. And I was like, "Oh, we did get cheated out of Sarah fights." So I'll take it though. I'll allow it. What was the last thing I was gonna get? There was something I was gonna say about this episode, and something happened in it. And I can't remember what it is now. So I guess it wasn't that important. Oh well, yeah. Oh well. Because I watched this episode this morning.
I just watched it before you recorded.
I was just so tired. I just yeah. You know, it was great. I watched this morning. And was like, no. I wish I could have had time to watch it last night, but no, this was again. It's just fun. I enjoyed this. I loved this. I think that I think Legend of Tomorrow is still one of their. And again, I like all the shows this season. I think all the shows have been good. Haven't been watching Supergirl, but I've been listening to some of Shannon the Doctor's reviews of Supergirl this season, and it sounds like especially the last two episodes have been really, really good on Supergirl. So yeah. Yeah, God damn it! What was it? It's gonna bother because I know we're gonna hang up on the call. It's gonna be over with, and then all of a sudden, my hit me and was like, "That's what I was gonna fucking say about this fucking episode." And I can't remember it. So we mentioned Jax. I mentioned Stein. All of them. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck it. All right, we're in. You got anything else you want to say about this?
Mick Roy for president.
Oh, absolutely, 100% Mick Roy for president. I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean. Yeah, I just again, like I said on the Flash, I need Mick and Breacher, like Danny Trejo and Dominic Purcell, like put them together for just for a little bit. I don't need a lot, just a little bit. Just give me a little bit of that, and I'll be sold. Like it's just that'll be gold. That'll be gold. So just they're they don't really care. Like so. Ray still owes Mick money, right?
Thank you for remembering. Mick's going to remember. Mick's not going to forget.
Oh, and Mick. Again, this wasn't the point, but Mick robbed those kids at the end of the episode. He robbed the bullies.
Run the pockets. What? Run your pockets. All right, damn.
Oh, man. Oh, that's so good. God damn it, man. Oh my God. He really robbed them. He robbed the kids of their candy and their allowance.
And they don't know he was holding an actual flamethrower.
No, they don't. But he's scary enough. You do what he says. You don't take a chance with somebody like Mick. Another thing that this wasn't again, I don't know what it was I was gonna say. Neither of these things are things I was gonna say before. One thing I am hoping is I'm hoping they don't do, and I wasn't getting that vibe, but I'm hoping they don't do this. I'm hoping they don't try to do a Ray and Zari thing here.
I think they have good chemistry at the end there.
No, they do, but I want them to keep it as friends, just because I feel like Ray and them always get Ray, it's either Ray or Nate. They always get the girl. The same thing happened with Ray before. I actually kind of I don't know. Not saying Zari and Jax, but can Jax get somebody? Cause it's like you have Jax. Like Jax never seems because you hit Jax with the you're trying to see if I'm single. I'm like, oh okay, so maybe Jax does like her. I don't know. But why is it that Jax always never gets anybody? He never gets a relationship. He never gets anybody else. It's like
he's in a relationship with Martin Stein.
Oh, see, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
well, and they're about to break up. And they're about to break up. He's gonna need a rebound. So now's a perfect time to give Jax a little somebody himself. So
yeah, but now you can't make his romantic interest the other half of Firestorm because they get into a fight. Nah, man, disable the Matrix.
Oh no, I didn't say that it had to be a Firestorm relationship. I'm just saying he needs somebody.
But I think that their Firestorm relationship kind of slots in the number of Jack because you've got to tell storylines about that relationship.
No, absolutely right.
Tell about it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. I totally get it before, but like with Garber leaving, I feel like you're gonna need something to do with Jax other than him just talking to the ship.
Well, he's gonna be training the new half of Firestorm.
Oh, so you don't think that the whatever device he gets,
it's not gonna be a solo Firestorm now.
Okay. I thought that was weird. I thought that was going to be a weird thing of how that works.
I think you have to pass the Matrix on to someone, and I think that's going to be interesting to see. Because remember, it got passed to Jax.
Yeah, because he also got hit with the.
He got hit with it after Ronnie died.
True.
He got hit with it, so he's accessible to. So when Ronnie died, the Matrix was free floating and locked onto him.
Right.
If you can separate Stein from it, you just find someone else who's compatible. Bingo, bango, new Firestorm.
Yeah, valid point. So, I wonder who they get. Do you think they bring in Ronnie, or how do you think they do it?
I think if you brought in Ronnie, it'd be interesting, but it'd be also hard to pull off timeline wise. Right. I don't know what they're going to do. I think it's really interesting that they put us in a position where they're openly in it and brazenly attempting to destabilize the Firestorm Matrix, which you and I both know in other media has not gone well.
No, it's not. It's going to go horribly wrong.
It feels like they're flirting with disaster here, but we're going to see. I'm excited because I don't think they're going to like blow up they don't do reality swapping, so they're not going to ruin a planet. But they're going to do something about this. It's going to be a plot point, and I'm excited to see where it leads.
Oh, the Legends getting into trouble and making bad decisions. Oh, no, that can't possibly happen.
Kamandi, last boy on Earth. We get there somehow, don't we, Jack Kirby?
Oh, boy. So, all right. Well, there we guys have it. I don't remember what my last point was going to be. It was probably going to be something that wasn't that it's going to bug me all fucking night.
For the record, I tweet in our podcast for everyone who got that Kamandi reference.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah. So, all right. But anyway, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. Deepom will be gone for 2 weeks. A week,
yeah.
We can some change. We're gonna work it out. I do have some people lined up for filling in for Super Tuesday. I'm leaving the last two episodes for Inhumans for when he comes back. And it means also I don't have to watch them until he comes back. So I'm saving that stuff. But yeah, we'll be back. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube, MTR Network. On YouTube.com. We have a lot of new content coming out on YouTube. It's actually not even on the feeds as well. We have some videos coming out that we're going to be putting out there. Not just the interview videos either. Some actual content like mini character corners and things like that. Subscribe to this stuff on Super Tuesday Recap. I do know we finally are scheduled to record our next set of Star Trek Discovery reviews, and those will be out on Super Tuesday Recap feed. And then I think also next week we'll be due for The Gifted. The next 3 episodes of The Gifted. So, yeah, folks, just stay tuned, keep listening, and keep subscribing, and thank you guys very much for your support. Till next time, we're out of here. Peace.